Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Aaron, I'm currently active duty Army recruiter who's been in the Army for a little over 5.5 years with 2 years left on my contract. I'm looking at getting out of the military for a variety of reasons, but for the sake of brevity, I'll just say that I've more or less have become delusioned with it. The Army is no longer intellectually demanding of me as it was when I was a private. My question is simply this: considering the GI Bill, the Yellow Ribbon program, as well as the slight advantage vets inherently have, is it worth it to pursue a law degree? Some background on me. My only work experience is in construction, machining, and being a cavalry scout in the Army. I've been decent at all of them, but I'm looking for something more intellectually stimulating and rewarding than I've experienced with those careers. I will have a bachelor's in international business when I get fuck, you're fucked. See, you and the commanding, or your, what do they call the dipshit? You can't call him a dipshit, you answer to him. The fuckface, the moron. The guy who throws like a girl and wears grandma pants. Commander-in-Chief, that guy, President Obama, your boss. He's got the same degree too. You can become president. When I get out with around a 3.5, 3.7 GPA, if my current GPA stays true. Yeah, with the international, international business. Oh, I thought you had international relations. International business. Okay, that's better than, not much, but that is better than what our dipshit president has. I haven't yet taken the LSAT, but I've taken practice tests. I plan on investing in a good practice program for it. I'm generally pretty decent at taking tests, and the content of the LSAT doesn't seem to be too bad, at least nothing that I can't prepare myself for. I've fast-tracked through my Army career. I'm a natural leader. I'm fairly disciplined. I'm not a robot. I'm not entitled, privileged little shit, blah, blah, blah. I've done a lot of research on the economic realities of the legal profession. Things seem pretty grim, but looking up as hiring is picking up and law school enrollment is going down, as well as the economy in general doing better. I don't know. I double-checked those figures because I don't know if the economy, it's growing, but lethargically so. It seems to me the biggest cons to law school is the outrageous debt and the not-so-good employment prospects, but if my GI Bill can offset my tuition costs and my vet status can boost my employment chances, would that negate the risk of attending law school? Well, to answer that question right now, yes, it does. Mathematically, it will. That still doesn't mean you wouldn't be pissing away 3 years of your life and whatever the GI Bill wouldn't cover. I mean, you get into a high-end law school, you're paying big bucks. So, I mean, it mitigates the risk, but doesn't eliminate it entirely. Throughout my Googling, I stumbled upon your video and thought it might be worthwhile to pick your brain. I'm not exactly sure what I want to do as a lawyer. I enjoy reading and researching and writing and arguing, all of which seems to be essential in the legal profession. I like picking apart arguments as well as structuring my own. I have somewhat of a type A personality. Anyways, it seems like the law profession would be a decent fit for me. My plan is to go to school and work in Florida. Good, there you go. But that's not a total set in stone deal. I'm not expecting to go to Harvard and get a $160,000 job with big law, nor do I need those things. I'm thinking an $80,000 to $90,000 starting salary should be too much of a pipe dream. That's a lot of purchasing power in Florida. What do you think worth it? You have flaws in your plan here. With the law, one, the labor market for law graduates still sucks. Okay, so until enrollment starts going back up and law schools aren't closing, right now it's healing, it's getting better, but it still sucks. And the other thing, the problem with your plan is you either go big or you go home. One of the two with law school, with becoming a lawyer. And what I mean by that is there's basically two tiers. I know there's 3 or 4 tiers, but we're just going to call them 2 tiers. There's the top 14 law schools, and then there's not. And then there's not, well, maybe there's a tier 2 law school that you could get into that has reputation, really good placement, but you want to get into the top 14 law school. Because then getting $80,000 to $90,000 a year will be much more possible than had you not gotten into that. And the question is, you say, and right here, I'm not exactly sure what I want to do as a lawyer. Well, fuck, don't become a lawyer then. I'm not exactly, see, I knew what I wanted to do with economics until I did a little bit more research, then I had a slightly different plan, but there was a goal, I knew what I wanted to become, failed miserably. Actually, I did end up becoming an economist, it's a funny story, but if you don't even know what you want to do as a lawyer, good lord, don't go spend the time and the money doing that. Absolutely not. Don't do that. Wait until you study what you would. You want to become a patent lawyer, a corporate lawyer, ambulance chaser. Find out. Just because you like to debate and argue and yell. Well, don't yell but debate and reason and discuss. Well, sure, those are some basic things. But if you don't know what you want to do as a lawyer, do not make that investment. I will tell you the honest truth. What I think you should do. Like every young person. I'm going to say it again for the cheap seats. You overestimate what is out there for you in terms of opportunity and success. The only real opportunity and success is self-employment. It really is. I'm not saying you can't become that successful lawyer. I'm not saying you can't become a great captain of a cruise ship. I'm not saying that you can't find a job that is going to be wonderful and great and rewarding. I'm saying it's statistically very unlikely you will. The vast majority, 99.5% of jobs suck. Look it up. I got plenty of videos. All jobs suck. That's a great video. Watch that. So don't think while you're in the military, you're missing out. You're not challenged in the military? Well, guess what? Most people aren't. There isn't a job out there, or there are very few jobs out there where you are actually challenged. And when you go into law, shit, there's stories. Look up Law School Lemmings. He has some great retweets. Law School Lemmings. These people are working for free just to get experience. Taking on like thug criminal court dudes and offering assistance and advocacy. I mean, it's a bloodbath out there. So don't think you're going to become a lawyer and things are going to be all of a sudden challenging or interesting. They're not. I mean, court might be interesting, and if you get a really cool case, yeah, that might be interesting, but the rest of it's pretty ho-hum, tedious type work. And so what I'm saying is, stay in the frickin' military, okay? Stay there. I know you don't like it, but look, you got all these traits and characteristics. I think you make a good officer. Why don't you consider being, like, you make it seem that the only thing you can do is a recruiter. There's nothing wrong with that, but obviously you're bored with that thing. Why don't you go talk to your CO? Why don't you go see what else is going on in the military? And while you're in the military, why don't you talk to some of the, JAG is, are you Army? You are Army. What's the Army lawyers called? I know JAG is military, only because of the show. Excuse me. Army lawyers are called what? What's an Army lawyer called? Come on. Jesus Christ. Just give me the answer. Oh, for Christ's sake. Whatever, I'm not... never go to answers.com or what... U.S. Army JAG Corps. Okay, JAG. I guess JAG is what it's called. Every guy in the middle is JAG! Yelling at the screen even though I can't hear you. Why not follow one of those guys around? Why not see if they got kind of like a paralegal or something you can tip your little toe in and say, oh, I like it or oh, I don't? Because, man, that is... The only thing that's a bigger investment than that is becoming a doctor in terms of time and money. And at least doctors do have some demand at the end. When you're a surgeon, it's not that hard to find a job. But lawyers, man, I mean, really think that one through. So I would stay in the military. I would try and find something new and interesting because I forgot to make the point why. Again, there's very few places young people are going to be challenged as much as they are in the military. I mean, you can go anywhere there, man. And you get your free food, clothing, and shelter. You think there's a great world in civilian life. There isn't. It fucking sucks, man. It's boring as fuck. People are in cubicle slaves. At least you get to go out. I see the recruited guys. They're in that strip mall there. And then they go out with their buddy and they get some Chinese food and they come back. God, dude, it's not the worst, really. But I know society has lied to you and thought, I'm going to be roundhouse kicking chick cop show. Not that you rush it, but I'm the lawyer guy. And what's the show? Boom boom ba boom 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 boom. It's all ba da 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 doo 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 doo. What is that? Law and Order comes in. They did a spoof on it on Family Guy. Yeah, that's not what it's going to be like. It just isn't. That's all TV show and made up shit. So lower your expectations. Reconsider the military. Don't jump into the lawyer thing. Don't get out of the military and go to law school. See what the military has to offer you. See if you can learn about law in the military. Maybe that's a better way to go. And then maybe you get a job in the military as a JAG. But God almighty, don't go into that law school. outside or over in civilian life. Anyway, best of luck. Oh, and hey, tell we give discounts to military, so tell all your military buddies to get. We got a lot of military guys. I got to go do some advertising in military, but if you could spread the word in the meantime, I'd really appreciate it. Toodles.